All they do is lie all the time. They have the same personality type. Narcissistic, the world's about me. They're chronic victims. Sounds like what? Oh, liberals. That's right. This crazy thing is, it's not even a political book. Read the book, People of the Lie, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, these people are all liberals. Narcissistic, chronic victims never take any responsibility for anything. Everything is someone else's fault. I'm not kidding. It's in the book. It really is just a diagnosis of every liberal you've ever met. Chronic liars. People of the Lives. Fantastic book. I know someone like that. They'll lie about anything, anytime. Have never told the truth a day in their lives. Here's one of the most dangerous people in the history of modern America to our education system. A woman who I said yesterday has single-handedly destroyed the prospects of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of black families in the country. She is committed to keeping black families out of schools at work. That is her one goal. That's what Randi Weingarten of the Teachers Union wants to do. She will fight against school choice tooth and nail and to keep your kids out of school because she doesn't care about your kids. She cares about power. Here's Randi Weingarten now lying again. Now because they realize they got caught not only spying, but censoring big tech, censoring conservatives, they know they've been caught teaching American kids to be racist against one another by teaching critical race theory. Notice how Weingarten, again, goalposts, moves it. Now they're referring to critical race theory as common history. Check this out.
In high schools, elementary schools, and middle schools, we do not teach CRT. CRT is a theory in law school or in college that analyzes law and says, is there systemic racism that was attached to these laws or the effects of systemic racism? What we teach in high school or elementary school or middle school is we teach history, common history, and want kids to be able to understand it and to analyze history.
Okay, this woman is an unrepentant liar. She is lying to your face. We have seen the lesson plans, folks. We've seen the stuff. We've seen the Kendi texts, the Delgado texts. We know what they want to teach. We saw their $127,000 slush fund to defend critical race theory. She is just lying to you. Common history is not intersectionality, white guilt, white privilege. Those are opinions, and stupid ones at that. That's not a common history. That is a biased, racist opinion where you're trying to judge a class of people, white people, based on superficial characteristics. Is there anything more dangerous than that? Anything? There's a body bags theme to today's show today. No, not like the Karate Kid one. Body bag, Johnny. No, I mean it. Like real body bags. When we start teaching people to hate one another based on characteristics that are entirely superficial and out of their control, the body bags pile up. Someone's been warning us about that for a long time. You know Jordan Peterson? Jordan Peterson has been talking a long time about the dangers of collective guilt imposed on people for things they didn't do wrong themselves. He gives an interesting example here of the kulaks who were murdered and killed and tortured because of a similar thing Randi Weingarten wants promoted in schools today. Don't let history get in the way, though, of your tyrannical narrative, you liberal thugs. Listen to this. Check this out.
You know, I think the idea of white privilege is absolutely reprehensible. And it's not because white people aren't privileged. We have all sorts of privileges, and most people have privileges of all sorts, and you should be grateful for your privileges and work to deserve them, I would say. But the idea that you can target an ethnic group with a collective crime, regardless of the specific innocence or guilt of the constituent elements of that group, there is absolutely nothing that's more racist than that. It's absolutely abhorrent. I can't... Yeah. I mean, that if you really want to know more about that sort of thing, you should read about the kulaks in the Soviet Union in the 1920s, Kulaks, because they were farmers who were very productive. They were the most productive element of the agricultural strata in Russia, and they were virtually all killed or raped and robbed by the collectivists who insisted that because they showed signs of wealth, they were criminals and robbers.
You know, I know this is hard for some liberals who believe that their coexist bumper sticker makes them a good person. I know it's hard for them to accept that they are walking down the same path of historical murderers, tyrants, thugs, and totalitarians. I know that's hard for you to take. I know it's hard for you to self-reflect. I understand that. I'm not sympathetic because you did it voluntarily. But I am understanding how that's tough for you to hear right now. That you feel like history began yesterday. That we're all smarter than our ancestors. Everyone was dumb up until you were born. You're the genius. Everyone else is stupid. But history didn't start yesterday. It didn't. U.S. history didn't even start 100 years ago. It started long before that. The global history of civilized man, Homo sapiens sapiens, goes back a very long time. And I just want you to understand that that record is clear and you've been alive for a sliver of it. Everything you're doing now in your sliver throughout this long, prolonged human history, everything you've done has led to death, destruction, torture, imprisonment, human subjugation, everything you've done. Clamoring for speech suppression, the rights of minority political parties to be thrown out the window, collective imposition of guilt. Everything you've done has been associated with murder, death, and destruction. Everything you're doing right now. I know that's uncomfortable for you to hear. And all of your nonsense, oh, you conservatives should be. No, we're on the side of big R, God-given rights for everyone. Minorities, majorities, doesn't matter. You're not.